Every day the ICE raids increase. We're reminded why we needed the ICE raids in the first place, as despite the Democrats' best efforts, the feds continue to make arrests in Los Angeles, until they came across this spry young gentleman that thought he was in the third world and apparently antagonized federal law enforcement with this machete, to which they quickly caught up with him, and even though he attempted to flee on foot, he was completely surprised to find the feds don't mess around, rolling up on him with multiple SUVs and agents looking like they're straight out of Call of Duty, unlocking all the premium DLC, as he looks utterly shocked at his arrest. Then the Border Patrol posted this on Instagram, stating he taunted Border Patrol agents with a machete, but they identified him utilizing facial recognition technology, finding he's a Mexican national already wanted for burglary in LA. Interesting how difficult it is to come by this particular story of a machete-wielding imbecile already wanted for burglary finally getting arrested, as the mainstream media seems very concerned whenever the feds make an arrest, but conveniently ignore every time they actually get someone we wouldn't want in our communities. It's almost like this selective reporting isn't about protecting the people, it's about something much more nefarious, as LA's top Karen, Mayor Karen, doesn't care about violent criminals hurting citizens, only focusing on protecting non-citizens.
What do you think is the most valuable pushback against things like this for people who object to it?
Well, I can tell you when they were doing the random snatching or kidnappings of people off of our streets, when people gathered, they backed away on many occasions. And so in Los Angeles, we have a rapid response network where everybody is alerted. If you see masked men getting out of unmarked cars, let everybody in the area know.
She said the same thing a month ago.
And so when the raid started, fear spread. The masked men in unmarked cars, no license plate, no real uniforms, jumping out of cars with rifles and snatching people off the street.
And the same thing a month before that.
I would say stop the raids. Stop the raids, period.
All to have absolutely zero impact on ICE's ability to enforce the law in Los Angeles. I've never seen someone with so much authority speaking on something so excessively and yet consistently accomplishing nothing. It's actually impressive to be this ineffective at anything, as a law of probability says she should have at least accidentally predicted something. But let's look at another equally pressing issue in LA, like the rampant homelessness. She briefly visited one of the many homeless encampments in the valley, even posting about her visit on social media, bragging about helping 30 people.
I'm standing here today in Van Nuys in one of the most dangerous encampments that I have seen in my time as mayor. It is operations like this that is why homelessness is down for the second year in a row.
Now one, she brags about homelessness being down, despite Dalton pointing out it may be because of the amount of homeless deaths. As that math suggests there's more homelessness under her watch, it's just outpaced by the increased homeless deaths under her watch. But Bass doesn't let silly things like facts detract her from bragging about her horrifying failures, as honestly a large part of the reason I left Los Angeles is because of the homelessness around my apartment. Karen saying she's cleaning up a single encampment is the equivalency of your home having an insect infestation, sweeping up one tiny corner of your living room, posting on social media how you moved a couple roaches into their own taxpayer-funded apartment, but then opening the front door and leaving out a couple pizzas to make sure you always have an insect problem that you can campaign on fixing, which even forces local NBC affiliates to admit the Democrats can't fix this.
And why he believes yesterday's cleanup won't have a long-term impact.
It's just a continuing problem where it gets cleared, comes back, sometimes gets bigger. Our mayor says the numbers are down, yet, it's still here.
They do anything they want here.
Less than 2 blocks away on Hollywood Boulevard at Wilton, NBC4 covered a series of fires last year that started in encampments and how the city cleared the encampments just before the annual Ciclavia bicycling event. Johnson says he expects the cycle with encampments disappearing and reappearing to continue.
They can put a band-aid on their problems all they want. Temporarily cleaning up a single section of the city does nothing if they're not going to actually criminalize criminally insane drug addicts. It sounds incredibly harsh, but reality oftentimes is. But what's even worse is our leaders actually know how to solve this issue, they just won't. We saw it in San Francisco in 2023, looking like a zombie apocalypse, and literally overnight, that city was cleaned up, turning into a dystopian nightmare. All because California Governor Newsom's communist friends from China came by to visit, to which he admits.
I know folks say, oh, they're just cleaning up this place because all those fancy leaders are coming into town. That's true, because it's true.
And right after, the city immediately returned to squalor, as apparently cleaning up the city is only reserved for impressing foreign elites, not the common Californian taxpayer. And I bring up homelessness and immigration in the same story, as just like homelessness not impacting their lives, not a single unvetted individual gets to live amongst Mayor Karen or Governor Newsom. It's just you, the citizen, that's forced to get groceries next to machete-wielding burglary suspects. And the more Governor Newsom gets his shifty mitts on anything, the worse it gets. As 7 months ago, we covered how they both botched the wildfire response. And any given day, wildfires still cover large parts of the state, with many of them still sitting at 0% containment. But what's our Governor Newsom focused on?
Respond to what's happening in Texas, and we will nullify what happens in Texas. We will pick up 5 seats with the consent of the people.
At 7 a.m., warning President Trump about redistricting and how he is America's favorite governor. 3 hours later, tweeting about how California crime is down and how President Trump is crooked. And 4 hours after that, still ranting about Trump, then saying he is the most handsome governor. I can't believe we're paying tax dollars to a guy that spends his entire day talking about Trump like he's his disgruntled ex-girlfriend and having his press team tweet about how handsome and popular he is. A huge percentage of his state is on fire, with the other parts riddled with machete-wielding maniacs, and that last part is just homeless people. But at least our tax dollars are focusing on the important things, like coddling a grown toddler's fragile ego. As I'm even wearing this Spencer for Governor shirt, almost as a joke, as this is the guy from that MTV reality show. But at Spencer Pratt on IG is actually making a comeback, exposing all the shady things happening with the wildfire recovery around his LA home. It almost makes me forgive him for all the things he said about LC. Does that mean I watched The Hills as a kid? You can't prove that. But more importantly, do I think any of this qualifies him for elected office? Absolutely not. It's just at this point, we'd gladly accept a former teenage reality TV star over Governor Newsom, who just acts like he's a teenage reality TV star. So if you appreciate my concise, lighthearted commentary on the tragic status that is today's reality, subscribe to Decoy Voice.